In this video, I'm going to be doing the problem nums between, and this problem is not going to be in the problem bank because I'm going to be using this problem to introduce a new concept. All right, so you're welcome to follow along if you'd like and pause the video and challenge yourself. I recommend that. But anywho, let's just get started. So problem A, design a function nums between that consumes three arguments, a lower bound, an upper bound, and a list of numbers. So nums between 1 and 5, so this is the lower bound, 5 is the upper bound, and then we have a list of numbers. And it produces a subset of the list, right? It produces only the numbers within the range greater than or equal to low, but less than or equal to high. So for example, right, why are we producing 5, right? 5 here in this list? Well, because 5 is greater than or equal to the high mark here, which is 5. So 5 is equal to 5, right? 7 is bigger than this high threshold, high upper bound, so we don't include it in the output list. 9 is greater than the threshold. 2 is not greater than the threshold. It's in between 1 and 5, so that's good. That's why it's in this producing list. And then 1 is also in between 1 and 5, right? It's equal to 1, so that's what it's less than or equal to 1 for the lower bound. 0 is not in between 1 and 5, right? It's way off low, like so, right? 1 is greater than 0, so it's not here. All right, so hopefully you get a better idea of what this consumes and produces. So I recommend you pause the video and try to work through this on your own. I'm gonna go with spoilers in 3, 2, and 1. All right, I'm assuming that you guys took a good swing at it. So now let's go over it together. So as always, we start with these signatures. So nums between consumes, let's see, a lower bound, an upper bound, and then the list. So 3 arguments. So the lower bound is a number, upper bound is a number, and then the list of number. And then this whole thing produces a list of number. All right, signature purpose, let's just steal it from the problem statement over here. So paste, comment it out, produce only the numbers within the given range low and high. All right, so signature purpose stub, let's stub this out. So define nums between, all right, so low, high, and then the list of numbers, so just call it num-lst. This whole thing produces a list of numbers, so let's just use empty as the base case. Not the base case, the stub. So here's some examples next, so check expect. Let's just copy and paste the examples they gave us. So nums between, like so, should produce this list. All right, and I like to space this out. Always make your code look pretty because it's not just about making it look nice. It's much readable, right? So let's produce this. Let's make a few more examples here. So I'm going to copy and paste this. Let's do one between 5 and 9, right? The low is 5, and then the high is 9. So which numbers are between 5 and 9 in this list? Well, 5 is between the low threshold. It's equal to 5, so that goes in. All right, what about 7? 7 is greater than 5, right? So it is greater than low, but is less than or equal to high? Well, it is less than 9, so it goes into that list. So 7 goes in there, and then what about this 9? 9 is greater than 5, so it's passing the low threshold, and it is equal to 9, so it is passing the high threshold. All right, 2 is way too low, right? It's under 5, and 1 is under 5, and 0 is under 5, so they don't get included in the list. And you're welcome to copy and paste and do more examples, but for the sake of time, I'm gonna move on. So let's just run against the stub here. Get mismatches, no other interesting errors. All right, so let's turn the stub into a template. So cond. So we do something when the list is empty. Hopefully this is familiar already. Else we take apart the first of the list, and then we do recursion, nums between, and then call this function with the same arguments, except for num-lst, which we gotta take the rest of the list because we want it to get, we want to keep getting smaller. Otherwise, we'll end up in an infinite loop. All right, so now really pause the video. Hopefully this should be all the mental scaffolding needed to solve nums between. I'm gonna go over spoilers in 3, 2, and 1. All right, I'm assuming that you guys took a good swing at it. So now let's go over it together. So given an empty list, we can produce an empty list, right? That would be just the base case. I forgot to write the test for that, but it's kind of already apparent, right? There are no numbers in between low and high if there are no numbers in the first place, right? So there we go. All right, now comes the harder part. So it looks like we're taking this list and we're producing a subset of the list. So sometimes we want elements in the list. Sometimes we want to exclude them. So we need an if here, right? We need some decision making going on here. If, right? So this is going to be each of these individual numbers. And we have to make sure they're in between 5 and 9 or 1 and 5, right? So low and high are also in this. Low and high. All right. All right. So if we wrap them, right, it's going to be this, right? So this is going to be like, well, what is this? Less than or equal to. So this is going to be placed here and then there, right? That's how it works, right? You can also write this as, let me just type it, I'll type it right below. And so you can like copy and paste this actually. So this, and then put the first of the num, and then do the same thing, but for the high threshold, right? So this would be high over here. All right, so these two, this and this, are equivalent statements, all right? But I'm going to choose this version because it's a lot shorter and doesn't use first twice and it's a lot longer. All right, but if you wrote this one, it's fine, right? Like in other languages, you would write this. But in Racket, since we have this infix notation, we might as well use it, right? This would just apply like so. So let's just comment that out, right? Delete that. And if takes 3 parts, right? This is the true branch, false branch, and then the case here. All right, so if it is between in the range, what do we want to do in the true branch? Well, we want to include it in the list, right? We have to produce a list at the end of the day. And the only way to do that is with cons. So we're going to take that number that is between the low and high, right? This branch, if true, then take this branch. So we know that this number is between low and high. And we're going to add this to the recursive call over all the other numbers in the list, right? Which we'll assume will follow the purpose statement over here. Otherwise, this is the false branch of the if, right? We don't do a cons, therefore we exclude the numbers. So let's just run, and both tests do pass. All right. All right, so now comes the final step, test, review, and refactor. So if we look at this problem, it consumes a list and produces a smaller subset of the list. So hopefully this should be sounding very, very familiar, right? Going from a bigger list and producing a smaller list of the same type under some criteria, right? That is akin to our old friend keep if over here, right? So keep if, right? You'll see that these two functions are very similar. They both do something in the empty case. They both have an if here, and under some criteria applied to the first of the list, they will keep the item, like so with cons, or not keep the item, and they both are doing recursion, and etc. All right. So the question is, can we implement nums between in terms of keep if? And the built-in form here is also, filter, but I'm going to save that renaming until all the way at the end just to show this, right? So you can see the structure here as to what it's doing. So let's actually try that. Let's try to re-implement nums between in terms of keep if, right? So I'm going to comment that out, and I'm going to write nums between with the same arguments, low, high, num, lst, right? But I'm going to use this abstraction keep if, right? So keep if, right? And then it takes in 2 arguments, a function that consumes x and produces a boolean, right? Some data type x, which is going to be numbers, and then another one, a list that of x, and then produces some x. All right, so what is this going to be? It's just going to be the num list, all right? Now we'll need a function that consumes low and high and then compares it to the first of the list, right? So let's actually write that function. Let's call it between, between, all right? Let's actually write it up here. So define between question mark. So it's going to take in the number first, num, right? Because that's what keep if does. It passes as its first argument the number, right? And then we'll need low and high. All right. So this is just going to do the criteria from here, right? Except instead of first of num lst, we're just going to receive that as an argument from keep if, right? Keep if is going to call it between with the first of num_lst. All right, of the elements of num_lst. So let's just write the purpose signature stub for between really, really quickly. So it consumes a number, boolean, all right? And then signature purpose produces true if num is between low and high. And then let's just write one example. Between, let's say, you know, is 2 between 1 and 3. Yeah. All right, and you're welcome to do some more examples, but for the sake of time, right, I'm just going to not do them. All right, so we get an issue here. So keep if, right? Keep if is, as its first argument, it consumes a function, but that function can only consume one argument, right? So between here, we're giving it a function that consumes 3 arguments. But keep if says, hey, I can only take one, man, and I produce a boolean. So the boolean part is correct, but is there a way that we can, you know, turn this between function into a 1 argument function while also receiving low and high? Because low and high, right? The low and high, we need low and high from nums between here, right? So how do we get that in, right? If only we can put this function between inside nums between, and quite frankly, we can. This is going to be a new construct that you're going to see. It's called local variables. Functions can have local variables. And how you do it is you write the keyword local and then square brace, and then you got to use whatever is in the square brace. You can use whatever is in the square brace. So let's actually stick this in between this function, right? Let's just stick this in the function, right? Like so. And let's get rid of low and high here, right? Because it's going to exploit the rule of that functions look up arguments if it's not defined within itself, right? So let's just cut and paste this, right? So local, you write things, the definitions in this square brace, the second argument is local. These square braces can also be parentheses, by the way. And then after this, the second argument to local is going to be where you can use the local definitions here. So I have to stick this here, right? All right. All right, so if I hover over high, it's going to reference the nums between high, right? The parameter over here. And then num is going to be pointing to here. And then low is going to be pointing to the one that's nums between, right? Before, again, let's just go backwards. It was like this, right? A 3-argument function to keep if. It doesn't work, right? Keep if requires that the function that you're going to pass it has to consume 1 argument. So you run this code, right? We're going to get the errors. So we need to delete low and high from between because we discovered that, hey, we don't really need low and high. We can't really have them if we're going to be passing it to keep if. So we're going to delete it and then run it. And all 3 tests pass, right? So this between function is going to look up low and high because that's what functions do, right? This is not something new, right? If you have define f of x and then you do times x of c, if c is not in the parameter list, right, this function is going to look for c somewhere in the global scope, right? So I'm going to go over this in the upcoming videos, way in the next section, but this is not a new rule, right? If c doesn't exist in this function or in the parameter list, then it's going to go look for some c that's defined globally in the file. This can be like way up there, right? So you can see if I hover over it, it'll point to what it refers to, right? That's not anything new, right? So we're exploiting that rule, right? By this local block, right? By having a function inside a function with this local block, this function will look for low and high. We turn this 3-argument between function into a 1-argument function that can then be passed to keep if. It can then be used to implement nums between. And yeah, that is how you abstract it and have functions that look up to other variables and be nested in another function, right? You need a local block, you need the definitions, and then you use those definitions in the second argument to local. All right. So with that out of the way, we can rename this keep if to filter, right? And if we run it, all tests do pass. So yeah, the problem with local is though, is that you can't write tests, right? You can't write check specs. So you're going to have to resort to comments, right? So you can write a comment and you can write the signature, right? Between honk consumes a number and produces a Boolean, right? And we're going to explore local a lot more in depth in the upcoming sections, but this is how you have functions within functions and that inner function looking up to local variables that it needs for the abstraction here, right? So I'm going to delete the keep if, right? Because we renamed it to filter. Filter is a built-in keep if to racket. And let's compare the original nums between to this, right? So we can also delete this betweens, right? Because we're using this nested function betweens, which is not really the same as this one. It consumes low and high as arguments, right? This one implicitly looks at low and high from the mechanism of looking up variables, right? Of functions looking up variables if we can't find them in its own argument list, it will keep looking up to other arguments outside of itself. So we don't need that, right? So compare these two, right? We can delete this whole thing and it's fine, right? We have abstracted it with filter, with an abstraction. It's much shorter and we don't have to write this whole if block in this recursion and etc. Right? It's a built-in function filter. We pass in a local function that will look up its arguments and then do the thing. All right. So that is what you'll need to understand and do for the upcoming problems. You're going to have the right local functions that look up variables, right? And use built-in abstracted functions like filter, map, and fold, right? Fold R, right? So this would be the final abstraction, nums between, right? We don't need that whole block with the if anymore, right? This whole thing anymore. We abstracted it to just a simple filter with a locally defined function that looks at variables like so. And it produces the exact same results, just much less code, right? So anywho, again, this is what you'll need to do in the upcoming videos for all the 24.0 problems that we're going to do. And of course, they're going to be a lot harder. So I recommend you guys use the hints if needed. All right. And that is about it for this video. And I will catch you in the next one.